from Joe Ellen, and then one from Betty Henny, and one from Bill Henny. And that's the correspondence we've received today. And up next is clarification by anybody from the Parks and Rec Committee if they feel the need.
Just a couple of things. Thank you everybody for taking the time to go through. I can tell there are a lot of thoughtful comments that were constructive and helpful that will be great to discuss with our committee. But I did want to point a couple of things out. That there was no new survey for the last update in 2019. The survey that was in that recreation master plan was from 2013. Also, no professional planner was used for the 2019 update either. I want to clarify both of those things for the record. And then one thing that was brought up, I believe in written communication, all the photos that are used in the rec plan are all township property, like it would be for any master plan or any written anything. We had an issue in the past with someone who wanted to own them as their creative property and wanted the township to pay them for that contribution. So there's no personal credits used. Everything used is all township property. All photographs and charts and things like that are all township property. And that's all I have. Thank you guys for your wonderful comments.
All right, thank you. And with that, I'm going to close the public hearing. And at this point, do we have anything as a planning commission to comment on? I know you've all had your individual, but this is for us. At this point, what we would do would be to collate all the information, pass all of the information and the correspondence to the Parks and Rec Committee, who have sat here and heard it all, but we'll get the record to them and suggest to them that they take what was sent to them and reflect on it. Come back with their thoughts.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want a motion to that effect?
That would probably be good.
I have a question first.
Sure.
You said reflect on it. What's that mean? And where are you going next?
Well, I think what Roy is getting at is that there were, a number of correspondences. There were comments from this body, comments from the Zoom, and comments from the Planning Commission. And this was meant to be a first draft, as I understand it, or a draft, not the final report.
It was, right, it's not the final report, obviously, that's why
Right.
we get the.
So what we would like, what I think the motion should say is to incorporate, these ideas that have come out and have a discussion on the Parks and Rec, come up with an assessment of that and how you would implement some of those ideas or not, and if not, why, and bring it back to us for the final discussion.
So if I can chime in on that, I think.
Sloppy motion. So.
No, that's all right. I think it's important that we understand that the Planning Commission isn't writing this plan.
Yeah.
The feedback was gathered in this format and to be provided to the Parks and Rec Committee. And they have to meet as a group and decide how they want to process that information. And if they wish to edit the plan in some version based on this feedback, I heartily commend them to do so. But I can't tell them that they have to. That's not our role. Our role is to provide the information and the venue for that information to be gathered. You've gotten up, you've made suggestions.
I think I said suggestions.
Right. The audience has participated, they've provided feedback. People on Zoom have provided feedback, we've got written feedback. I think at this point, what we do is formalize sending it to them and wishing them Godspeed.
So, just to clarify, so they decide where it's going next, whether it comes back here, another public hearing, public meeting, they make that decision, or does the board of trustees make that?
I think that in theory, they could ask for another public hearing, a formal public hearing like this. I don't know that they've ever done it that way. They could consult with the board and based on the board's recommendation, come up with a different plan altogether. I don't know. That's not we're not driving that bus.
I got it. My hands are off it. I said my piece. I'm
No, it's a fair question, and honestly, that's as much as I can think of as an answer.
Oh, that's okay.
So for clarification, we've had conversation this evening, comments and such. We've had folks asking for answers. Just for clarity, those answers don't come from the planning commission.
That's correct.
Those answers, those questions really need to be directed specifically to members of Park and Recs Committee and or the Board of Trustees, and to be efficient with the process for answers in sort of specific to, or answers to specific questions. It might be a good idea in general to have those conversations a bit of time before the next meeting. Would that be
So
some clarity brought to this process?
I don't know how or when or if questions will be answered by the Parks and Rec Committee. What we've done is create the official record of those questions and send it to them. And in doing that, we fulfilled our mandate in this.
Right.
I would assume, based on interaction with people in the Parks and Rec Committee, that they're gonna take this to heart and they will work through it. But that's an assumption on my part. It's not a direct. So with that, I think Marilyn made a motion for us to consolidate this record and send it to the Parks and Rec Committee. Did I hear that correctly?
I second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Chair, I know I'm out of order.
What is it, Jim?
Just, I think
Shortly, Jim.
Many committees throughout our nation have a rotating membership. In other words, the body, I know that all the bodies here in the township are basically selected by.
I think this is a discussion you need to have at the board meeting. If you're going there, I think you need to go there with the board.
Okay.
Thank you.